All right. All right. Let's do it. Let's do it. Welcome to the Red Hot Mic. I'm your host, G. Alpha Palmer. Cheers. Come on, let's get it. Welcome. Welcome each and every one of you. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. You could have been doing so many different things tonight, but you hit me, and I want you to know how much I appreciate it. Come on. That's right. It's hot in here. The brim, gotta get the brim right. Come on now. If we can't get it right, we're gonna take it off. We're gonna try to get it right. All right, let's do this. Yeah. All right. Let me fix my chair. I need to fix my chair a little bit. All right. Always I try to. I'm a dark-skinned brother, so we need a little bit more light in the background. So, welcome to the Red Hot Mic. I'm your host, Dr. G. Alfred Palmer, and I want to just say thank you once again for tuning in to the Red Hot Mic. I'm really excited. It's been a while. I've been a little bit inconsistent. Let me fix my camera a little bit. All right. I think that's a little better. Been a little inconsistent because I've had a lot going on. Been on vacation to Los Cabos, Mexico, and spent some time there and a couple other places. So I've been busy and doing some work as well. So I'm glad to be back with you. I'm really, really glad to be back with you again. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm excited about tonight's topic. I'm excited about it. Basically, I want to talk about, some of the things. The topic is, how can BBWs get a man? But the thing is, in talking, what led to that topic was I had a conversation today on my Facebook page, and some ladies who have been really upset with some of my postings on Facebook and wanted to express their displeasure with my postings on Facebook. If you want to check me out, it's Dr. G. Alpha Palmer on Facebook. So they didn't like the fact of some of the things that were being said on my page. So they wanted to spend some time with me to speak to me relative to what my Facebook page or some of my postings had said. And they felt that I was abusing and disrespecting women who are overweight. And I really am not a person that wants to disrespect anyone. But what needs to be understood is that I have to do what I need to do. And it's not to disrespect, but it's to challenge the thinking of individuals. And so that's what I do. I'm not trying to cause anyone any displeasure. I just want you to think about what it is that I'm talking about. And please don't look at it as me trying to disrespect. I am a very spiritual person, and my goal is not to disrespect, but to challenge the mindset and the mentality of certain paradigms and ways of thinking. And so I've been challenging the way people think concerning BBW, big beautiful women who have in my opinion, have been left out of the whole romance arena to a great proportion. And these ladies were of the mindset that I was wrong in that BBW women or BBWs have as much opportunities as anyone else. I challenged that, and I've challenged that, and I continue to challenge that because I don't. If we look at the data, and that's one of the things that drives me is the data that's being supported at different sites, different information that's being related. Some people think that the statistics are skewed to omit certain cultural types, but there's no evidence to that. But the bottom line is there is also sites that are very culturally specific that back up the same data to basically say that there's some issues relative to relations for BBWs. And so I'm not trying to disrespect BBWs. All I'm saying is it's important to understand. I'm in the process of writing a book called The Stages of Development. And in the stages of development, we talk about the different areas of development that brings about certain mentalities, certain behaviors, certain cognitions, and certain physical attributes. And in this book, what I'm talking about is how these attributes contribute to how we think, how we represent ourselves in the world, and how we are seen by the world, and the world treats us as a result. And one of the things that we found out is that physicality or physical build has a big factor in how we are seen in the world and how we represent ourselves in the world. And so I'm not disrespecting BBWs. That is not my aim. My aim is to help BBWs gain what it is that they want out of life. Most women want marriage. And what I would like to see is BBWs get married. Now, in talking with the ladies that I talked to today, they talked about the factors that come into play for a lot of women who are BBWs. And those factors that could drive them being big, beautiful women is that they may have some health issues that contribute to them being the dress size or the weight that they are. So they have difficulty within the area of weight. So in that they have a difficulty with their weight, they should not have to be penalized for being BBWs. And so that shouldn't preclude them from being able to come into a relationship with someone that would appreciate them and love them and care for them and come into union with them. But I was sharing with women, these ladies, that what you have to understand is this. First, when we look at a bell curve, the first two standard deviations show that there is a large percentage of whatever you plot in the first 2-3 standard deviations. First two is about 68% or somewhere 65-68%. The first three standard deviations are approximately 95% of the people that's plotted. So that means that 95% of the people are within the first 3 standard deviations, 2-3 standard deviations, which means that most people are pretty much in the same area, average. Now, there's going to be another 4% to the extremes of both ends, but those are very, very rare situations. And a lot of times we hear people say, well, they have problems with their weight because of medical conditions. They are medical conditions, but those aren't the main driving forces of the people that would be to the extremes. They will be in the first 2-3 standard deviations, but they will also still be considered as being average, but just skewed a little bit one way or the other, but still within the overall average of what's considered to be normal. So most of us who say that we know people who have done this or doing that, they've told you that. You really don't know what their situation is, and they definitely are not the 4% on the extreme ends of both standard deviations. What they are, they're still within the average, the middle, but yet they may be skewed from the mode just a little bit, one way or the other. Now, I say that because I hear a lot of people wanting to give excuses for why some of our BBWs are overweight. Now, the reason that and especially in the Black community, this is a problem. So, but here's the issue. Other cultures don't have the same problems. They have the same medical situations. Those aren't just excluded from other cultural groups. It's not just African Americans or Black people that have it. Those medical conditions. Every culture has them, whether those be depression, or whether they have an eating disorder, or whether they have fibroids, or whatever the situation is. These are not just in the Black community. Those same kinds of issues find themselves in Asian, Indian, Hispanic, and in the white communities. But what we find is that the statistics tell us that the average woman in the United States weighs approximately 168 pounds. African American or Black women average in the area of 180 to 186 pounds. That is grossly overweight. Grossly overweight. So what am I saying? I'm not saying that Black women are the only ones overweight. They're not. If you really look at the statistics, of 80 to 85% of women are overweight in the United States, but Black women have a tendency to be grossly overweight. And what we want to do, what I'm trying to do, is not to call out Black women, but to adjure to Black women to begin to make some changes to make some changes, just like other cultural women are. And there's nothing like these women who are BBWs, because basically many of them have great personalities, have great mental and emotional balance, especially women. But they have an issue in the area of diet and in exercise. Those are two areas, and we all have areas that we struggle with. But if our women are going to be recognized and to compete for marriage or relationship amongst the other cultural ladies, then they have to address these areas of diet and exercise. It's no getting around it. Now, I was talking to these ladies, and they're saying that men need to get away from looking at the physical and go beyond the physical to where what a lady is emotionally, cognitively, and mentally. And I get it. I believe that is so. But you have to understand this. Men are visual. There's no getting around it. There's no changing that. There's no compromising to that. Men are visual. And a man will see something, and he will notice it, because he is a visual being. That visualness that he has comes from the universe. It comes from divinity. It is served to man for a specific reason. We're going to talk about that eventually as we go on. Maybe not tonight, but what you have to understand is a man is meant to be visual. He is meant to have vision. He is designed that way. It's not because he lacks self-discipline, or he lacks the ability to not look, because he is a looker. He is a visionary by design of the Creator. So why is that important? We're going to talk about it. But the bottom line is men are visual, and women, some women, females especially, have issues with men being visual. They want us to bypass who we are by our nature and by our design, and look past that which is not possible for men. Men are visual because that's what gets their attention, and what will attract them. And because it attracts them, once they are attracted, then they can go beyond the attraction and get to the emotional, cognitive, and mental piece. But first, it's going to be an issue of them being attracted by what they see. There's no getting around that. And I hear people say, well, real men go past that. No, those are men that you want, and you're trying to put that on men. But men are not designed that way. Men are designed to see. And I'm going to tell you why eventually. Men are designed to see. Let that settle in. Men are designed to see. And their seeing is called vision. It's important that a man has vision. The reason that we are driven by what we see is because in our core, we are, as masculine men, are visionaries. It is part of the masculine nature. A man has vision. A man sees. But what happens is men don't know how to discipline or come in line, or how to really use vision, or how vision is supposed to be used in their lives. And there is some undisciplinedness with men relative to vision, because they don't understand vision and how it's supposed to be used in their lives. But ladies, you have to understand, we are visionaries. We are driven by vision. So if that's the case, and we're driven by vision, a woman that's a BBW, she is not going to get the attention of as many men as someone who is fit. And some people say, well, there are men that rather have a BBW than a size 6 or below, or size 6 or whatever. But I would say this to you. If you were to line up Sierra and Lizzo, 95% of the men would choose Sierra over Lizzo. 95%. Why? Men are vision driven. Now, that's not to say that 100% would prefer to be to see or be with Sierra or someone like that, because there's nothing is 100%. They're always going to be anecdotal information, examples. But the bottom line is the vast majority would choose Sierra over Lizzo. And that's not to put Lizzo down. I'm not doing that. I'm trying to tell you that men are vision driven. The overwhelming majority are vision driven. So, how does a BBW get a man? Because most of them have outstanding, beautiful, and lovely personalities. Most of them. They're balanced. They have a balance, and they've worked on certain aspects of their personality. They've worked on their cognition. They worked on their emotions, and they work on their mental aspects and their spirituality or religion. They work on those things. A lot of them do, but still, that doesn't negate the fact that men are driven by vision. He's not going to see that. He's not going to get to that. Those cognitions, the way you think, the beautiful way you think, the beautiful way you handle yourself, your perspective on life. He's not going to get to that because vision is important to him. That is not going to change. So what is it that women BBWs have to do? What do you have to do, sisters? It's up to you. It's totally up to you. But I would say this: if you want to experience a relationship with a prominent man, now for me, a prominent man is a purpose-driven man. We'll get into that a little later too, because I'm hearing a lot about high-valued men. To me, a high-valued man is a man that's purpose-driven. It has nothing to do with your wallet. No, not initially, because purpose will eventually affect the wallet, but it's not the primary resource. But a lot of people are driven by the whole idea of high-value men being men that have a certain income bracket. Well, I don't look at it that way. A prominent valued man is one that is purpose-driven. A purpose-valued man is a man that is purpose-focused. He's purpose-centered. And the role that the woman plays is vital. We'll talk about that too. So it's important to understand that because a man's driven by his vision and what he sees, it's important that you, ladies, be fit. Now, I'm not saying that you get down to a size that is unhealthy for you. No, I'm not saying that, because in those 3 standard deviations, you'll find men skewed throughout that whole, but it's still within the average. But the bottom line is men don't want to be with women that are overweight. 95% don't. There are some that will want to be with some that are thinner, some that will want to be with some that are thicker, but yet still within the whole realm of being average. A man does not want to be with a woman that's of equal size, equal height, and weighs the same or more than he weighs. I'll say that again. A man does not want a woman of equal height that weighs equal or more than he does. Now, that may sound tough, but it's the truth, my sisters. I am not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm trying to help. But like today, I was blessed from A to Z because people were saying that I am trying to hurt women. I am not. They're telling me that because of the things that I say, women are emotionally being hurt and emotionally being disrespected. Well, listen, women of the civil rights movement and of Jim Crow, those women really faced challenging times. Women today have a lot more freedom than women during those times. But yet those women were in relationships. They maintained those relationships. They valued those relationships, and they held those relationships in high esteem. Big mama valued Big Daddy. But today, we can't even tell a woman that you need to be fit. We can't say anything but that you are a queen, or that you are a diva, or that you are sexy, or you are beautiful. You can't criticize any women, females, not women. Women are different than females, but you can't criticize females because they will always have something negative to say. You can't even you can't say anything as a man. And I don't care what your educational background is. You can have a PhD and be a black man or a male, and you cannot tell a woman anything, even if she has a GED. You can't tell her anything. She does not want to hear from you unless you're telling her she's this, that, and other things that are positive that boosts her self-esteem. I'm not saying we're putting down. I'm what my objective is to help our ladies to get what it is that they really, really want, most ladies. And that's a lifelong relationship. To do that, ladies, he needs to be able to get past to see how wonderful you are. And the way he does that, he first has to see what's attractive to him. So what does that mean? That means first we have to change our diet. I was talking to a lady today, and she was talking about the foods we eat. High in calories, high in sodium, high in fat, right? Eating at the wrong times, right? Eating the wrong kinds of foods, eating the wrong times of the day. Not and eating large quantities, large amounts of food. Now, I know that I'm going to get a lot of kickback for this, but the bottom line is, if you go into many gyms across America, I'm talking about as overall, you will not see as many people of color, black women, in the gym. So that's the next thing. We have to get exercise. We have to get fit. I was talking to a lady today, and her contention was she's not going to the gym because she has to walk her dog. Her dog has taken precedence over her own life. So she doesn't want to go to the gym because she has to walk her dog. There are some that won't go to the gym because the gym is too far. Ladies, there are gyms that are open 24 hours a day. I'm not going to give them the publicity, but their initials is PF. 24 hours a day, between $20 and $25 a month. You can go into this gym 24 hours a day. So it's important that, ladies, you begin to get fit and you begin to eat better. It's not easy. It's not easy. But the bottom line is, women are going to die alone alone. And that's not the plan of the Creator. The Creator didn't design you to die alone. You are supposed to have a mate to care for you to the days that you close your eyes. He's supposed to be there for you. You deserve that. That's why you age quicker than he does, because the design of the Creator is that you be taken care of, that you be protected and provided for. Now, there's some women say that I don't want that. Okay. You're not in your feminine mentality. You're not in your feminine energy. You're in a masculine energy. I'm talking to those ladies that are in the feminine energy. Those ladies that are in feminine energy, you are supposed to be taken care of. So, I'm not trying to belittle women. I'm speaking to females. There's a difference between women and females. Follow me, you'll find out what I mean by that. Women are supposed to be taken care of. The whole idea of a woman being taken care of is the plan of the Creator and no one else's. So I want to just close with that. I know that some people may have some issues with some of that, and I welcome you to discuss it with me. I really do. I'm not afraid to talk with you, even if you disagree. Only thing I ask is that you be respectful. Some people don't want to listen. They do want to listen. They don't want to hear. The difference between hearing and listening. Hearing is that you're hearing to understand. Listening is just listening to you shut up so I can devalue whatever it is that you said and debunk whatever you said and dismiss whatever you said. But there are women out there that will hear. That's who I'm talking to. Beloved, I want to see you happy. I want to see you fulfilled. I want to see you with someone taking care of you. When you get to that age where you can't care for yourself. And I tell people all the time, my mother is 92 years old and she's alone. She's in a facility and she has nurses that take care of her. But the bottom line is that's not the design. The design is for a man to care for the woman. But what happens is in our society, men work themselves to death. They take on jobs that wear out their bodies. Why? Because they're chasing dollars. They're chasing provision. But if you find purpose, you will have provision. You have prosperity. You have everything you're looking for, and you'll have long life. But what men are doing is chasing the dollar, and as a result, wearing their bodies out and dying before their time. Leaving their women alone. That is not the Creator's design. Now, I'm not trying to be religious, but spirituality is a very important piece of my life. It's the center focus and the foundation of my life. So you're going to hear that from me. You're going to hear that from me. Because everyone has to have a centerpiece of where they set themselves relative to what they believe, think, and purport or share with others. Mine is from a biblical and from a spiritual perspective. I'm not going to sit here and quote chapter and verse. I think that's religious. I'm not religious, but I am spiritual. So you're going to hear spirituality come from me, not just Christian. There'll be others as well. But the bottom line is when we speak about relationship is critical to fulfilling purpose. Relationship is critical to fulfilling purpose. And to fulfill purpose, we've got to understand what purpose is and how we fit in fulfilling it from a gender's perspective, from a relationship perspective, and from an individual perspective. I know this may not be popular with what some people believe, but I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to those that would hear me, not listen to me. So it's incredibly important that you understand that what we're purporting here on this station is messages of reconciliation, reunification. That's what we purpose, and that's the aim here. I will be very, very specific, and it may seem to some people very hard, but it's not meant to be that. I am who I am. I'm not going to be for everyone. So telling me to be kinder, gentler, that's not who I am. I'm going to be who I am. We have to get past the messenger and hear the message. Even Jesus wasn't received by everyone, but those that would receive the message. Muhammad was received by the message. Right? Joseph Smith was received by the message. Some people are not going to receive the messenger, and because they can't receive the messenger, won't hear the message. I can't do anything about that. He that has an ear, let them hear. I welcome you to hear. I welcome that. So I appreciate you tuning in, and I'm hoping that you'll continue to tune in. I'll be back again tomorrow. I'm going to continue to post more and more broadcasts on my YouTube channel. It's time to really get busy. But you can also catch me on Facebook and some of the other Anchor and Instagram. There's all these other, platforms that you can catch me on. And tomorrow I will be on Facebook in my room. Come join me. Clubhouse, come join me. I welcome that. I welcome you to help me to reconcile relationship and empower purpose for this period that we're living in. Well, thank you for joining me. I am G. Alfred Palmer, and that's it. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.